Hello and welcome to the kind of queer. Wait, what? No, no. Okay, okay. So I get it. There's a blur over me right now. Is yeah. Okay. So this is the first time that I'm showing my face on this channel, which kind of scared about, to be honest. But it's okay. We don't need the blur anymore. You can get rid of that. All right. So today we're gonna be. No, you can actually get rid of it. It's fine. It's fine. You can do it. All right. And gone. Okay. Hi, I'm Ryan. As we all know, well, most of us probably know, I have body positivity issues. So this is a very weird situation for me because I've shown my face on the internet before. Most of the people that will watch this video probably already know what I look like, but it's just weird. I don't know how else to explain it. It's weird. But hi, this is me. I'm doing a Q&A from questions asked by you, and I didn't want to just have that be a weird voiceover with like a screen. So here we are with my beautiful face. I'm beautiful, right? But let's start answering some questions, shall we? The first one is thoughts on coming out. Should we all do it? Or is like the mindset that they will figure it out when they figure it out or figure it out eventually on their own, the mindset that you should go for? I think coming out, you don't have to do it. Straight people don't have to come out as straight, so why should gay people have to come out as gay? Or cisgendered people don't have to come out as cisgendered, so why should agendered or differently gendered people or trans people have to come out? No one should have to do anything. It's their own choice. And a lot of the times, people that stay in the closet do so because they don't feel safe or they don't feel comfortable. And that's perfectly reasonable. You do not have to come out. If you don't feel safe, don't come out. If you think something bad could happen to you, don't come out. That's my honest advice. Um, I think eventually you will get to a place in your life where you will hopefully feel more comfortable and more like you can do it. You'll have more support, whatever it is. Do what makes you feel comfortable. If you want to do it, then do it. If you don't, then don't. And if you feel unsafe, then but you want to do it, try like poking the bear, I guess. If there's certain like people that you're worried about, try poking the bear. Like be like, hey, bring up like random topics about queerness or whatever. So I guess yeah, I would be like, they'll figure it out or they'll figure it out if I want them to figure it out. But no, I do not think we should all have to come out. Probably like the most controversial thing that I've seen of this, even though I don't think it should be, is like when you're trying, like when trans people are dating, because a lot of the times, like people think that trans people have to come out as trans if they're dating someone. And I think that it can be a good thing to do if you feel safe and comfortable with doing that. But also, just, I don't know, like it's a really hard question to answer because there are going to be some people that don't want to date trans people, and if you come out later, then I don't know, a bad reaction might occur, but really you don't have to do it. You don't have to like be like, hey, I'm trans, by the way, are you okay with that? That's probably a good idea, but also you definitely don't have to do it. And I'm not suggesting that that is like what you have to do, because it's not. Do what feels comfortable and what you are okay with. Favorite milk? Mm, well, well, you see, I'm in other circles known for being a connoisseur of milk and dairy products like yogurt. It's just kind of a thing, so that's fun. But favorite milk? like 2%. 2% like regular dairy cow milk. I also like Hylon Farm chocolate milk. That's some good shit. So, and by the way, the 2% that I get is Price Chopper brand, so there you go. If you want to try my favorite milk, record it and just send it to me, I guess. Favorite queer lit author. I probably should have looked more into these before actually answering them, but um, I don't honestly know if I read or have read any books from queer lit authors. I mean, I can try and figure it out. What was that book called? Are you queer, my friend? Are you? Are you? I honestly don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. But I can tell you this is the follow-up question, my favorite queer book or book with queer characters in it. So I can answer that question honestly, because I do know that. Should I grab the books? I can grab the books. Okay, you stay here. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, okay? All right, all right. Bye-bye. I'll be back. I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back. Hello. Okay, so, uh, first book, The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay. That's what I thought. This book, it's kind of like a thriller, horror-ish book. It's pretty good. I liked it a lot. Couple of husbands with a daughter. End of the world. And then we got the Zeros trilogy. This is by several authors because I think Scott Westerfeld, as obvious by the name on the front, is the like main author, but there's also like Margot Lanigan, Deborah Biancotti, who I recognize from somewhere else. I don't know. There's some cool queer characters. I don't know if it gets talked about as much in this book, but it definitely does in the later books. So that's also a good series that I enjoyed with queer characters. And just because this is a really fucking good book, and even though it's not really queer, I think it's great to promote anyway. So we have She Said by Jodi Cantor and Megan Twohey, or I don't know how you pronounce it. But this is Jodi and Megan were the journalists who broke the Harvey Weinstein story, and this is basically that story. And this is a really good fucking book. If you want to learn more about the Harvey Weinstein story and everything like that, highly recommend it. It's also just a great book if you want to learn more about, sexual assault and all of that stuff. So, those are my recommendations. Ryan's seal of approval. What was the moment that I learned about the community? I'm assuming the queer community. The moment that I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really I never really got that involved with the community. Like I never went to like any pride events or anything like that. So I've never really been all that involved, and I can't remember a specific moment where I learned about it. Um, like I've said in the podcast before, Miley Cyrus is where I first heard the term like pansexual, which is what I identify with. There were a couple of trans YouTubers that I watched. Maybe I can find them for you. Maybe I can find them. Alex Birdie. It was easy because it starts with an A. Alex Birdie, I think, is the first person ever that I watched on YouTube that was like queer and specific, at least specifically trans. I don't know why. That was where I learned a lot about the trans community, and it was very cool. Hardest thing about having the podcast. Well, there's a lot. No, there's honestly, I love having the podcast so much. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had. I am truly proud of this and everything that I've done on it. And I'm just so grateful to have it. Like, seriously, legitimately, I'm very grateful. So, thank you for supporting it. The hardest thing about having it is mostly the fact that like I'm not fully out, like at home and around general people, I'm not really out at all. And so when you're like very open and out, like online on a podcast, and then you have to like lock yourself back into the closet to um, like kind of live the rest of your life, that can be difficult. It certainly feels like sometimes there are two different like Ryans, and one at home I jump into one of them, and the other times I'm just very open and very happy. So while it is difficult, it's difficult for a good reason in that I have a really good thing, and so it just makes the worst side of things feel a little bit worse. But I have this new really good thing, and that's just fucking fantastic. So thank you. What fucking you know what? I'm gonna call you out, Tim. Tim, I'm calling you out on this one. I'm probably going to get way into depth on this question, but Tim asked me this question. He's been on the podcast several times. You know this. He asked, would you rather have a penis that is too big or too small? And the first time I saw this, it fucking killed me. I was not expecting it. Um, so let's get into way too much depth about this very stupid question. Um, on a selfish basis, I would want it to be too big. And I feel like that's just because I'm gay, or at least partially gay. But I would love to have a large penis, but if it was too big, then it would become a problem because, like, I'm a large man, and so already, like, my pants don't really fit me. Shorts are kind of okay, but pants, right? Like the problem that I found with pants is because I'm a large man, I have long legs. Like getting pants that are long doesn't really make up for like the crotch area. There's not a lot of room in the crotch area a lot of the time, and because I have big fucking hips, it's just it gets a little tight for comfort, And if I had a too big penis, then that would be a problem, I feel like that would certainly get in the way. Also, there have been people that have like legitimately passed out. I think at least a couple have died from getting an erection or having an erection for too long because their penis was literally too large. There was so much blood that like there wasn't enough in the head and brain. So that's one option. The other option is too small. And here's the thing. Size doesn't matter, right? Or at least supposedly it doesn't matter. I'm not sure. um and like the only downside is I would want a bigger penis. But okay, so I think if I were being realistic, too small. But I gotta be true to myself. And I gotta choose the big boy. Um, you know, and you know what? Fuck it, man. Fuck it. Like, listen. If it's that big, why hide it? Like it's gonna be seen no matter what. Like through the pants, if it's too big, it's gonna be seen. Unless I can like really. Next question, please. How do you deal, or how have I dealt with dealing with imposter syndrome, which is basically like you've never dated X gender, so how do you know? Well, I don't think I've ever dealt with this personally because I've only come out to people that would be like, yeah, sure, fuck yeah, man, rock on, you're cool. They would never say that, but they support it. And also, a lot of them are queer, so they understand. But here's the thing, right? You don't have to date a certain gender or whatever to know that you're queer. Like, I look at guys and I'm like, that's fucking hot. I want to kiss that man. And then I look at like non-binary people and any other gender, literally any, and I go, they're fucking hot. I want to kiss them. If they're okay with it, of course, consent is important. So like, come on, dude. Like, just how do you know that you're straight if you haven't dated a woman? Come on, bro. And if you have dated a woman, then how do you know you're not fucking gay? Because you haven't dated a guy to find out if you're gay or not. So come on. Come on, dude. Come on. Get with it. It's all up here, man. You just know. That's something that a lot of people fucking have a hard time understanding. But you just know. Well, you kind of just know. Sometimes it takes figuring out, but you kind of just know. Was there an obvious like childhood game that was a sign for me? I don't think there was like any games that I did, but like I would definitely imagine myself like with boyfriends. Like I would picture that. Like I would dream about that. I would fantasize about it, about finding my own little prince. No, but I mean yes, but no. I don't think there was a game. There was like I don't know why. This is going to sound really weird and you're not going to understand most likely. But there was like I honestly don't even remember if this is real, if it's just a weird fucking dream that I had. But for some reason, I remember like there was a game or something. It wasn't really a game, but it was a game where like I had like a soccer ball or something, and I don't even remember who I was doing it with, but we would try to like hit each other in the crotch with the soccer ball. I don't I honestly couldn't tell you why, because obviously that would fucking hurt. But maybe that had something to do with it. You never know. Maybe I'm a masochist and I like pain, and that's like my weird kink. I don't think it is, but it could be. I guess I've never tried it. I've never tried that gender before. No, fuck off. Thoughts on the community being gatekeepy with sexualities and identities? I fucking hate it. I've kind of talked about it on the podcast before in some of the episodes. If I could remember, I would tell you, but I don't. It fucking sucks, dude. Like, I feel like we're supposed to be a community where we're pretty much all accepting, right? Because a lot of the time, the people that are trying to get into it are kind of like confused, or like they're not fully like 100% sure of themselves, and they just want a place to fit in and or to feel accepted, and then you push them away. It's like, hold on, let's not fucking do that. The thought process I've always had is, listen, I don't care like what you identify as, what sexuality you identify with, even if it like 'cause you're allowed to question yourself. If you're like gatekeeping these certain things, that's just that's just like getting rid of the ability to question yourself. You should be able to do that. You should be allowed, okay? Like, and then if you're talking about stuff like pansexuality is like biphobic, no, no. Labels are created to make us feel comfortable. And if someone feels comfortable with the term pansexual over bisexual, even though they can both mean the same thing, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Cool. Why am I doing thumbs up? Why am I doing this? Do I think Mark Zuckerberg eats a lot of Go-Gurts? Um, yeah. I mean, like, well, I don't. My own head canon is yes, probably not because he's fucking rich and why would he buy Go-Gurt? But like my head canon, yes, because he's just like a fucking alien creature, and if he can get like sustenance from a tube that it can just go, then of course he's gonna fucking do that. Like, come on. So yes, but probably no. sadly. My favorite queer character from all of media. I d- hmm, that's a I don't know. I really like Klaus from the Umbrella Academy. It's Umbrella, but shut up. I really like Klaus from the Umbrella Academy. He's a perfect man. I like the people from the books that I mentioned before. Um, I don't know why. I mean, Vanya's also cool. Just Klaus is like my favorite out of the Umbrella Academy crew. Um, I don't. The weird thing is I watch kind of a lot of queer media, but I don't remember because a lot of it is very forgettable because it's just like gay characters written by straight people, or at least it feels like that. So it's honestly fucking hard to remember. But off the top of my head, Klaus. So, and me. This is the final question. Final question. Can you believe that? This one's another serious one, and I wanted to end on it because it's kind of a really good question. Do I still face uncertainty about my sexuality and or gender identity? Sexuality, not so much. I feel confident in being pansexual. I don't think I've really had doubts about that for a very long time. Mostly just because I'm fairly certain that I just like all genders, all people. So I'm pretty confident on that. On my gender identity though, I do face some uncertainty. I didn't before, but I do kind of now. I guess like I definitely like he him pronouns and I don't really identify with or like she her pronouns, but also at the same time if someone referred to me as like she her, I'd be like, okay. I mean, I always joke that I kind of look like a lesbian, like a stereotypical lesbian. So I don't really like it doesn't bother me at all, but also there is something there is something that like sends a little response, a little sparkle in the back of my head that's like, well, they them pronouns. It's kind of cool, kind of like that, kind of feeling that. So I think like maybe I might be like he they. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to think about it more. And I guess how do I deal? Well, to be honest with you, it's not a big deal to me. I know that it is for a lot of people, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be. But for me personally, it's not. I feel like maybe if I had like some form of gender dysphoria, um, I mean, I think I might, but it's really fucking hard to tell with my body dysmorphia. Like, that is the thing that gets me, not my gender dysphoria. Or not gender dysphoria, because I still don't know if I have that. Um, so, like, I don't really have to deal with it that much, but I guess if I had to, like, kind of give advice maybe, even though I'm not the best to give advice because I really haven't experienced it, but how like I would deal is the way that I think about it is, hey, we're never going to be 100% certain about fucking anything ever. And so like the thing is, if I'm okay with not being sure about my gender identity, and I try to be like okay with that, and I guess that's kind of my advice is like it's okay to not know. It's okay to not be 100% certain. And if you're really struggling with it or trying to figure it out, don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to try new pronouns and whatnot. Especially if you're surrounded by people that will support you and use those pronouns, that's fucking great. Because then you can kind of get a feel for it like, oh, I like this. I didn't really like that, so I'm going to try something different. And so, I don't know. Again, just try to remember that we're not perfect. We'll never be perfect. And dealing with things like that can be hard. They can be really fucking hard, but you always have support. And it's okay to not be certain. It's okay to not have everything figured out. Even though it can be painful or hard, it's okay. Is that good advice? I don't fucking know. That's how I go through my day to day. Oh, I have a fucking Patreon now, probably. Probably. I'm like halfway through setting one up at the time of recording this, so probably you'll have one. Basically, what it allows is like basically I get extra support. It incentivizes me to create more, do more, and it really just helps me out. Um, and then for you, the lowest tier is literally just you get like a thank you in like podcasts and videos. And even though I know that really doesn't mean much, it's mostly just like, hey, thank you so much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. Um, and I will acknowledge that. And then other tiers, I will have hopefully like Patreon exclusive merch. Of course, those tiers are going to cost more, but if you like the merch, then maybe consider it. I don't know. You certainly don't have to even think about it, but even if you just look at the page and go, "Oh, that's cool," then thank you. I appreciate that. You don't need to support me on Patreon at all. I'm perfectly fine. I just wanted to kind of set it up to be like, "Yeah, I have this." that was basically my thinking. So that's a thing now. If it is done, then it'll be like linked in the description of the video. It'll be linked in like my channel about page. It'll be linked probably in the end screen. But with that being said, I want to thank all of you for your wonderful, beautiful questions. They were all good, except for yours, Tim. That penis one. Come on, man. Come on. I'm joking. I loved it. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for all of your questions. If you have more questions ever at all, leave them in the comments. Message me, DM me, whatever it is. I have a TikTok if you want to follow that. I don't post often, to be honest, but I will try to. It's mostly just like clips and stuff. But I got all these things, and thank you for watching the video. I hope you're having a fucking fantastic Pride. Guys, come on, it's Pride Month. That's why I'm doing this. I have other cool videos planned, so subscribe, stay around for those maybe if you want. I love you all. You're all beautiful. You're all valid. Have a wonderful day. This has been a kind of queer video brought to you by this kind of queer fuck, this loser. Thank you all for watching once again. I will see you in whatever comes out next. So, thank you. Goodbye.